want to be successful? Let's make a safe assumption you want. If I'm wrong, let me know. Anybody here don't want to be successful? Okay, so safe assumption. Everybody wants to be successful. How do you define success? You can define success by, there are books, how to be successful, make a lot of money, count your chickens, count your eggs, all kinds of books out there. What is the latest one that is in all the Indian newspapers? It's Imagining India, Dashing India. Question is, what does it all mean? High salary? These are easy ones. Anybody here want a low salary? When I finish from Globsyn, please give me a low salary. Everybody wants a high salary, and you should. And you should. High is relative, but obviously enough to take care of your needs. Have some left over. Big office. Anybody ever dreamed, I wish I could have a small office? Nobody dreams that. Everybody wants big, and it should keep getting bigger. Big office, big window, all of that stuff. So that's a measure of success. Lots of assistance. Okay, some may not want lots of assistance. Some may want just one, or don't give me assistance. I'm a loner, I'll just do work by myself. But big staff, how many people report to you? That's a big thing. So that says, one of my cousins, nephews, nieces, whatever, big, उसके अंदर 500 आदमी काम करते हैं। I said, क्यों वो टॉप फ्लोर पे काम करता है क्या? The higher up you go, there are more people working. So just get a job in a big building and make sure you're on the top floor. Then you can say, I have 8,000 people working on it. You're not lying, but you're not telling the truth. But okay, impressive title. When we were in PCL, we used to go to Dadabhai and Vikramda and Mr. Chopra, all the other directors were, title chahiye le lo. They didn't care, they said, do the work. But we were, of course, people are concerned about titles. So, I think I mentioned this the other day for some of you, but most banks, when you come out with an MBA, even if you have no experience before, will give you a title of Assistant Vice President. Most banks. I had a colleague who, classmate actually from Sinai, finished, and he joined a very well-known bank. The first title was Assistant Vice President, AVP. To become an AVP in a manufacturing organization, probably take 20-25 years, and you have to be very, very good. In some government organizations, you can start as Deputy General Manager. First day out of business school. Deputy General Manager, शादी तो हो गया. Dowry भी पक्का हो गया. क्या title है? DGM. But it doesn't matter. It's an impressive title. So we used to say, let's start somebody out of business school with a title like Sub-Deputy Junior Acting Assistant General Manager. And then every year we remove one. So first year remove sub, or your deputy acting assistant, then you remove deputy. So 7 साल में manager बन जाएगा. But you'll have a long big title. So that's. But if you notice what's happening in the world, I'm sure you read global magazine. Titles don't matter. Most companies have gone to associate, which really means nothing. काम करता है. That's all it means. IT associate, HR associate, which actually is the right way to go because it's telling us what you do matter, what you're called doesn't really matter much. Chauffeur-driven vehicle, that'll be nice. Now in the US, I would have just written vehicle, company vehicle. But in India, I think chauffeur is very important. So chauffeur-driven vehicle, that'll be impressive. पीछे बैठेंगे, newspaper पढ़ेंगे. चाहे उल्टा पकड़ दिया, लेकिन पढ़ेंगे. So Business India, and when some other car is next door, make sure the title of the magazine is showing from the window. You've seen that. You see, chat notes in these things. People do that. People have Harvard Business Review. Stuck at a traffic in the chart number pole and Harvard Business Review. It's good. Private jet. Some of my classmates from XLRI are working for companies where they've been given private jets. But some in Indian companies here, there's one of my seniors, he works for a big cement company. The company has given a private jet. So he came for the Silver Jubilee reunion at Jamshedpur, flew from Delhi to Ranchi, and then drove from there because the Jamshedpur airport was big. You can get all kinds of stuff. Any of this sound impressive? None? Oh, good, yes. And the list can go on and on and on. If this is how we define success, and unfortunately this is how we often define success, we're missing the picture. We're missing the whole picture. At least this is my take. You may disagree right now. Maybe 10 years from now, maybe he had a point. This is important, don't get me wrong. I'm only partly joking. You need to do this because this is what you work for. Not all of it literally. So not everybody is going to get a private jet. Tata Nano bhi chalega. It's a measure. It's a measure, no problem. But if this is all we're concerned with, this is the big picture. So, what I have become very enamored with over the years, and what I truly believe business schools and business students should be thinking about is meaningful success. It's relevant everywhere. It's not unique to people in business schools. It's relevant everywhere. But because many of us, if not all of us, will control what happens outside, because big businesses really do control society oftentimes and have a huge impact on society. Huge impact. Big businesses operate on what? They need natural resources. So they draw from society, but forget often to give back to society. Instead, the money finds its way to Switzerland and who knows where else. This is a problem. This is a huge problem. All you have to do is pick up the newspaper. And not just in India, in pretty much anywhere, but let's look at USA, which we often use as the gold standard. Pick up the newspaper the last 3 to 4 years in the USA, and I'll give you specific examples. All you hear about is what has been going wrong. How many companies, the CEO, the COO, the CFO have been swindling the company. In fact, I wanted to title this talk, and most of my talks from now on, Waiting for Shivam and Sundaram. Because Satyam has already happened. So I want to call it Waiting for Shivam and Sundaram. There are other Satyams out there. They just have not been caught yet. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not too much. That's a problem. That's a problem. That cannot be our only concern, the bottom line. How much money have I made? It's important, but there can be a good balance too. There can be a good balance. At the end of the day, whether you make 30,000 rupees a month, 3,000 rupees a month, or 3 crores a month, you can only eat so much. And you're still going to eat only that bhat dal and mach. You're not going to start eating gold. Nobody eats gold. The plate will change. You go from stainless steel, aluminium to China, maybe silver. You're still eating the same thing. So we need to be a little more realistic. So these are the titles that I'm going to talk about. Doing the right things. This is not an exhaustive list. I could have gone on and on, but then the point would be defeated. So I picked the key ones. Do the right things. We'll talk about each one of these. Do things the right way. Obviously, Satyam did not do it right. I don't know, who knows what happened with IPL, but something went wrong there. It was such a good brand, a global brand, extremely successful, created, and then suddenly, because of inner politics and who knows what else behind the scenes, it's got a huge black mark. Other countries were looking to IPL saying we can replicate this, and now they're saying, well, we don't want to replicate this part. So doing things the right way, refusing to compromise on values. Most of the time, we struggle with this cognitive dissonance. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I do this? But we know what is right or wrong. But we often change our values. Okay, if I do it once, exam ले रहा है, professor नहीं देख रहा है, थोड़ा छोटा निकाल के copy कर दिया, क्या हो जाएगा? कुछ नहीं होगा. But you know, the professor may not see it. I'm not talking about you, obviously. I'm talking about general. The student knows. What matters is that I know I did something wrong. It doesn't matter that you didn't catch me. Does it matter? And if it doesn't matter to me, then there's a problem. If I think it's okay to do that because somebody else is doing it, where does it stop? You say, well, once she stops, then I will stop. Then it will never stop. Let me start by stopping. Maybe she will see me and stop instead of waiting for her to stop. That's the difference. You're going to be leaders. You're being trained here to become leaders, not followers. You're going to be leaders. The one thing leaders do, change starts with them. That's why I mentioned, if I did not, Vineet Nair. You've heard of Vineet Nair? He's the CEO of HCL Technology. Read up about him. There's a book, a Harvard Business book. It's called Employees First, Customers Second, EFCS model. It's nothing new. It's a model that has been followed by many companies in the US like SAS and Southwest. But all the change that begins with him. It obviously means putting yourself on the spot, being willing to be challenged, being willing to make mistakes. And we'll talk